Brilliance Audio presents Blood Bond 2 by Helen Hardt, performed by John Lane and Lauren Rowe. She didn't respond, just stared at me, her peridot eyes wide. Anger inched along my skin as it tightened around my body, a tingling in my gums. I'd already let my fangs out once without meaning to, during our first kiss. She'd nicked her tongue, and I'd gotten a brief taste of her essence, a flavor so intense and intoxicating. And I'd had to have her. Her pussy smelled like fresh flowers and fruit, but when I opened my eyes, 2 puncture wounds on the inside of her left thigh. A vampire bite. I'd recognize the lesion anywhere. A vampire had fed from her femoral artery. Someone had tasted what was mine. The need to possess rose within me, while the wild urge to punish whirled through my veins. This had happened recently. Though the wounds were healing, they were near fresh. "Who tasted you?" I demanded in a snarling voice. She met my angry gaze. What? Rage overtook me. I looked away, squeezing my eyes tightly shut. Couldn't look at her right now. If I looked, I might... Damn. I opened my eyes and turned back to her, her own eyes frightened and confused. "You let someone—" I stopped abruptly. She'd most likely been glamored, and didn't even know she'd been fed from. I closed my eyes again and drew in a deep breath. Control eluded me, but I had to find it from somewhere. I dived deep within myself, the self I'd been before I was taken. As angry as I was that someone had fed from her, this wasn't her fault. She hadn't known. But I needed to feed, needed to mark my territory. Can't do it. She doesn't know what I am. I gathered all my strength, moved away from her, and opened my eyes. My dick was still hard. I'd been running on instinct with Erin. For all intents and purposes, I was still a virgin, though not in the technical sense. Would I even know what to do with a woman? I'd known how to kiss her. I knew I wanted her mouth on my cock, wanted to taste the sweet nectar of her pussy. No instruction manual necessary, apparently. Erin. I yearned for her, needed her, wanted to drown inside her. But I couldn't. Not when someone else had fed from her. Someone had violated the woman who was mine. I suppressed the growl that rose in my throat. I'd find out who it was, and I'd make sure he never came near her again. She sat up in bed. "I don't understand. What's wrong?" I couldn't begin to explain the horrors running through my head. Yet something overpowered the horrors. Another urge. The urge to protect her. To protect what was mine. I hadn't protected her from whomever had violated her. How could I live with that? The hiss of my own blood in my veins thrummed in my ears, creating white noise. "What's wrong, Dante? Please, tell me what's wrong." Her voice was sluggish and thick, as if she were speaking through a murky cloud of fog. No, it wasn't her voice that had the problem. My hearing wasn't right somehow. I pulled her up from the bed and into my arms. This wasn't her fault. I had to believe that she had no idea what had happened to her. I sank my nose into her dark hair and inhaled. Her sweet fragrance invaded my senses. "I'll never let you go, Erin. I'll find who did this to you, who took what belongs to me, and they'll never touch you again." "Dante?" I grabbed 2 fistfuls of her hair and inhaled again. "Dante!" Her voice was timid, fearful. I pulled back and gazed into her green eyes. "I'm sorry, Erin. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you." "What are you talking about?" "I need to protect you, Erin. I need to." "I'm a grown woman, Dante. You just looked between my legs and... I can't even." She rubbed at her forehead. I curled my hands into fists, rage surging through me like a black tornado. Violence, brutality, bloodshed. The urge to protect what was mine, to erase whoever had done this to her from existence, throttled me. I ached to mark her, to take her blood and mark what was mine. Not yet, though. She wouldn't understand, and I had to protect her. From everything. "You're beautiful. Every part of you."